Rangers may soon find themselves facing a familiar modern dilemma, balancing on-field needs with off-field realities. As attention begins to turn toward the upcoming transfer window, fresh developments have emerged that could influence both the club's short-term planning and its longer-term strategy. With market interest growing and financial considerations coming into sharper focus, a potential exit is now part of the wider conversation, one that carries significant implications behind the scenes. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. JD Gasama's future at Rangers is beginning to attract serious attention, with growing suggestions that the winger could be on the move if Villarreal are willing to significantly raise their offer. Reports indicate the Spanish club would need to more than double the fee Rangers paid Sheffield Wednesday in the summer to tempt the Ibrox side into negotiations, with the players' representatives also understood to be open to a potential switch. Gasama only arrived in Glasgow a few months ago, completing a move from the cash-strapped Championship outfit for a fee in the region of £2.2 million. At the time, the deal was viewed as something of a calculated gamble following a summer marked by missed targets under former sporting director Kevin Thelwell, during what quickly became an ill-fated early period of Russell Martin's reign. However, the 21-year-old has since emerged as one of the brightest sparks in an otherwise challenging campaign for Rangers. Despite the club's struggles for consistency, Gasama has delivered tangible end product. The winger has scored 6 goals and provided 2 assists, offering pace, directness, and attacking threat in a side that has often lacked cutting edge. Those performances have not gone unnoticed abroad, with reports in Spain claiming Villarreal are stepping up their interest ahead of the January window. It is suggested the La Liga side are accelerating their pursuit, with their recruitment plans also said to include AS Trenčín winger Sani Suleiman. Within those reports, Rangers are described as being under pressure to generate revenue as new head coach Danny Roll looks to reshape the squad to his own specifications. As a result, the Light Blues are believed to be holding out for more than double the fee they paid for Gasama, which would set any potential asking price at around £4.4 million. The situation is further complicated by claims that several clubs across Europe are monitoring developments closely, alert to the possibility of a deal should Rangers signal a willingness to sell. It has also been reported that the player's entourage accept that his time in Glasgow could be coming to an end, adding weight to the idea that a departure, while not imminent, is being actively considered behind the scenes. Villarreal, meanwhile, are said to be ready to formalise interest in the coming weeks, with hopes of opening preliminary discussions as soon as possible. For Rangers, the decision is a delicate one, cashing in on a player who has quickly become influential versus retaining one of their most effective attackers during a transitional period. Asked about Gasama's future following the recent defeat to Ferencváros, Roll was careful not to be drawn into speculation. He said, "I don't want to speak about rumours. I think there will be a lot of them about outs and ins. He's a player at our club, and there's nothing more to say. We need every player in good shape. That's what we have to do in the next few weeks. There are big opportunities for us, but we have to take the next step on Monday by getting a clean sheet and being clinical in both boxes." For now, Gasama remains a Rangers player, but with interest intensifying and a clear valuation in mind, the coming weeks could prove decisive in determining whether his stay at Ibrox is a short-lived one. In other news, Joe Rothwell has, in truth, never quite looked at home at Rangers. Signed from Bournemouth in the summer, his arrival came with genuine optimism, shaped largely by his productive loan spell at Leeds United, where he played a meaningful role in their return to the Premier League. There was a sense that Rangers were securing a midfielder ready to contribute immediately, technically secure, experienced and comfortable in high-pressure environments. Instead, his time at Ibrox has drifted into frustration and uncertainty. Russell Martin was one of Rothwell's strongest advocates, backing the move and trusting that the midfielder could translate his championship form into consistent performances in Glasgow. However, those expectations have not been met. Fitness concerns quickly became a recurring theme, and since Danny Röhl's appointment, Rothwell's involvement has diminished significantly. Observers have repeatedly remarked that he never looked right at Rangers, a phrase that has come to define his spell rather than any standout moment on the pitch. His last appearance came back in October, featuring in the Europa League defeat to Brann, a match that also marked the beginning of Röhl's reign at Ibrox. Since then, opportunities have been scarce. More often than not, Rothwell has been omitted from the matchday squad entirely, a clear indication of where he sits in the current midfield hierarchy. Competition for places has only intensified. With Mohamed Diomande not heading to AFCON, alongside the continued preference for Connor Barron, Nico Raskin, and even Lyle Cameron, Rothwell has simply been left behind. Across 4 competitions this season, he has made 18 appearances, but those outings amount to just 915 minutes of football. For a player brought in to influence games, that return is telling. Statistically, the picture is equally underwhelming. Rothwell has registered 2 assists and no goals, despite regularly being entrusted with set-piece responsibilities at previous clubs, including Leeds. For Röhl, the numbers underline a broader issue. He believes he can bring in midfielders better suited to what he wants tactically and physically. As one assessment has put it, Röhl knows he can bring in better for what he needs in midfield. That reality has opened the door to a potential exit, with Sheffield United emerging as a serious option. Chris Wilder's return to Bramall Lane has injected renewed purpose, and his recruitment strategy has leaned heavily on experience. The arrivals of Patrick Bamford, Danny Ings and Ben Mee highlight a clear trend, and Rothwell could be next in line. Sheffield United are understood to be confident a deal can be struck, while Rangers would benefit from a substantial wage saving, freeing up budget for January reinforcements. Rangers are believed to have promised Röhl further backing in the transfer market, and moving on players viewed as surplus to requirements is a key part of that process. With significant dead wood still lingering from Kevin Thelwell's tenure, sales are seen as essential. Rothwell may well be the first to go, but he is unlikely to be the last. Even Youssef Chermiti, despite his eye-watering transfer fee, is attracting interest. For Rothwell, a fresh start looks inevitable. For Rangers, it represents another step in reshaping a squad that still bears the marks of past misjudgments, and a clear admission that this particular signing simply did not work. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.